And this other guy, the last guy we're going to talk about, I don't know why I left him until last, because he's really interesting to me and a player that I think is getting underrated in some spots, and that is Malaki Branham. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's not Malaki Branham or something stupid like that.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm so sorry.
That's all right, mate. Like I strive to try and get things correct, and it's annoying that I got that one wrong, and it's annoying that he pronounces his name wrong. But that's all right. He can choose to pronounce his name wherever he likes. Malaki Branham, 19 years over age, 6'6" guard from Ohio State. Seen him mocked in the 20s, which just doesn't feel right to me. He is I got that prototypical size, +4 wingspan, shot 42% from three, tough shot maker. True shooting was 60%. Hit his free throws at a really high rate. A lot to like about what that can bring, and that level of tough shot making, and also high 3-point percentage. And if he just takes some of his long twos and pushes them into threes, you're talking about a really valuable wing/forward prospect who can hit these shots, get to the line and convert his free throws, and be a really valuable scoring option. Why is he pushing down into the 20s? Is it like he's just turned 19, so he's super young, and I don't get it. I don't get why he's pushed down so far.
Wasn't a huge high school recruit. I think he was between maybe 30 and 40 as a high school
34
recruit.
on ESPN's list.
And if you compare him to AJ Griffin, who was a huge high school recruit, those rankings do follow you. And they can prop you up. I don't think that objectively Griffin had a better overall season than Branham did, because Branham by the end of the year was his offense's initiator for Ohio State. And he averaged something like 19 or 20 points in his last 15 games. I mean, he was getting it like clockwork, because the way that he operates is to usually use a pick, but get his shoulder past a defender. Doesn't have the craziest first step, which might contribute to his ranking. But he rises up really quickly and has just a deadly pull-up jumper. And the theory of both guys is similar in terms of shooting being their main skill. But you see AJ, mocked anywhere 5 to 11 or 12. Branham is not 15 spots worse. And so that I agree with you that he is underrated. Right now, I think he's anywhere from 10 to 15 on my board.
The wingspan, the size, the position, the shooting, the age, all of this, defensively, I think he can be really good as well. To me, he's if not a lottery guy, he's pretty close to it. And him falling past 15 or 16 wouldn't make a ton of sense to me. I've had him up as high as 11 or up as high as 10 even. I really, really like him, and I can see him having a better career than someone like Benedict Mathurin, or I'm significantly higher on Brandon than I am with Johnny Davis, who we're going to talk about in the show that's coming out tomorrow as well. So I'm really intrigued to see where he ends up and if it is the right situation, but I'm glad I'm not completely off base with having some high hopes for what Branham can deliver. Is really a really intriguing prospect. It's going to take some things to work in his favor for him to work out to be a very good NBA player, but the building blocks are there in place for me for him to become quite useful, and the team that gets him might end up being one of those ones. How did he slip to 19? How did he slip to 25? Which we have every single year in the draft, and people always look at mock drafts and they look at this and go, how can you have this guy here and how's this guy this high? When you go look back at a year later, you go, this guy was 15 spots too high or 20 spots too low. Happens every year. You just don't know which one of those guys it's going to be. And